Okay, so you have to let me know how it goes on the Twitches, and the
Okay.
everythings, right? So
Let me grab my laptop or something.
wee, look at these beautiful men.
Are you having fun?
Yeah,
Fun, bro.
I'm having
So what happened?
much
Are
fun.
we not live already?
Oh, we're
What's
totally
happening?
live. People can see what's going on now, so it's cool.
So that's nice.
Yeah, I just have to. Yeah, this should do it. POW grid, yes. Okay, cool. All right.
So wait, but on Twitch, what are you? You're streaming your screen. You're not doing a window capture then.
There we go. No, I told you the window capture doesn't work.
But it worked. Okay, fine.
For you, it worked. For you, it worked.
Alfonso, I'm not gonna argue with you. All right, that's fine.
All right. So let's see on.
But that means we'll get no sound from the game. Yeah, you realize.
I do know that, but it's okay. We'll just chit chat. You can play something on your piano if you want, or we'll see.
You do what you gotta do, boo boo.
Let's just do a voice run real quick. Episode 1, Escape from Wolfenstein. Let's just do a voice run real quick. Episode 1, Escape from Wolfenstein. Peter, go.
Something. Episode 1, Escape from the Wolfenstein.
And Lolo?
So?
Yes, I am here. Can you hear me this time?
Yes, I can.
Should I talk louder? Okay.
Ooh, bring him on or don't hurt me, daddy. What's up?
Bring him on. You need to stay focused unless you feel very comfortable with this game.
Okay, don't hurt me.
Since you play a lot of Doom and stuff.
I do, but I haven't played this in so long,
You can balance your attention between the game and the conversation. And I can hear myself.
It's fine. How are the volumes, Peter? Are they okay?
That's why.
Is it even for everyone?
I'm not sure.
Okay. We still check it.
I'm not sure.
So there's a lot of blue walls. This the first level?
Yeah.
There's a lot of blue walls. Yes. I've never played the first Doom.
This is not Doom. This is
Doom?
Wolfenstein.
Wolfenstein.
3D.
It's all the same for me.
It's all the same for me.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree with Lawrence. I totally agree with him. It's all the same.
Okay. Live long and prosper, Luke. It's all the same, right?
Are you trying to offend me? Because
I'm trying to offend both of you. I'm trying to offend both of you.
Yeah, that's not gonna work with sci-fi stuff. But I think the levels are okay. Maybe both me and Lawrence are a bit lower than you, but I think we're more than perceptible. It's not like there's game sound anyway. So
I use my mic like that if it helps.
Oh, my ears, dude. Jesus. It's already loud enough in the game.
Sorry.
No worries. Oh, look. It's the Führer.
Oh, it's our friend!
Yes.
So in this game, there's secret doors.
Who had a lot of pent-up anger issues and therefore fucked over everyone's life.
The guy who couldn't make it as an artist.
I was gonna say, just because people shit on his drawings, Like one bad. What a fragile ego, right?
Let it be a lesson to art schools, yeah.
Shoot.
Secret door!
Do they make German sounds when they die?
No, they make.
What is German sounds? Elaborate on that.
No, I'm toot. No! I don't fucking know, bro. Or just like, Gesundheit! Nein!
Oh, Gesundheit. Okay.
Mein Leben! I don't fucking know, bro. Do they make German sounds or do they not? Dude, why is your guy grinding his teeth constantly in the fucking screen? Just like.
Well, he's probably in amphetamines. It was a pretty common occurrence apparently in Second World War.
Well, that does not surprise me in the least.
What was the common occurrence?
To have your soldiers completely buffed up on drugs. Yeah.
Isn't it the same concept as Vikings going berserk on mushrooms? Sort of the same concept.
Sure.
Yeah, without the religious, spiritual experience, it was more of an efficiency thing, I would say.
Of course, that goes without saying.
They're gonna have a soldier 40-something hours awake. Front lines. What a nightmare.
Just give the dude some Molly, it'll be fine. It's all good. Chill.
Who's Molly?
See the guy take out the fucking glowy sticks.
Well, yeah.
Oh man. So there's a lot of paintings in these houses.
Yes.
I don't know what the decorator was thinking, but this is not very feng shui.
Dude, this
Wolfenstein is, if I remember correctly, supposed to be a castle, right? It's a Nazi fortress somewhere in Germany that you're kind of assaulting. It's kind of... I don't know if they did that on purpose, if the developers of the game actually knew about this, but Adolf actually had a... it was not really a summer home or a secret base, but he had like a special like outpost like in the mountains south of Germany.
Of those.
And it was... And the code name was called the Eagle's Nest.
Yeah.
Nice.
And also the Wolf's Den,
course
which is
it
the
was.
one where they planted that bomb that almost killed him but didn't. As seen in that movie,
there was
Operation Valkyrie.
a Nazi German officer who tried to organize the resistance from the inside, and they tried a couple of times to plant a bomb Actually, there's a movie about that. There's even like an American version with...
That's exactly what I
Cruise.
was mentioning, the Operation Valkyrie.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
how it is. It's not a bad movie. Tom Cruise is a professional and
It's
does a
decent.
good job. Yeah, it's decent. It's pretty good.
Meh.
A bit too American
Meh.
for my taste, but not that bad.
Meh.
Exactly. That's my only issue as well. But,
So, by the way, this is a fucking labyrinth, right? I don't remember where I have to
I
go,
can see
even though
that.
I finished
Yeah,
this
like I
many
said, the
times.
decorator did a terrible job, bruv. Like, what the fuck?
This was
Like, seriously,
1992. Okay, this is how I know I've been here, because there's a dead body, right? You have to look at the
but
crowd
Alfonso,
and turn around.
you're not really good with directions to begin with, so I don't know
Oh
how
yeah,
you can
this
even
is
win
why
this
it's
game.
gonna be funny. You know, it's gonna be hilarious.
Jesus.
I think we have to go this way.
First-person dungeon crawling,
Mm-hmm.
but you can move
I love it.
really...
1992.
You know that
I think we're
I
back
had
at the
for the NES, I had a Dungeons and Dragons game actually, and it was also
For real?
played.
Okay.
Yeah, it was played like this. It was a labyrinth where you're going first person.
Oh, yeah.
And you have encounters with monsters and shit like that.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah,
My
A lot
Yes, Siemens
of
phone had that as
games in the 80s borrowed this first-person perspective dungeon crawling because it worked really well as a formula. I
it
don't
does.
even
It
actually
works super well.
know
This is
which
92.
one did it first. It was the Ultima series or something like that.
I don't know. Well, I do know that the Dungeons and Dragons game I was talking about came out in the late 80s, but I'm pretty sure it's already
Yeah.
taken the formula from something else. So,
Let me
But,
see if I can find it somewhere online.
oh look, a new place.
Yeah. But we have less health, so we don't have to go back. It's fine. We're playing on easy. Actually, playing on normal.
Every time we see a soldier, I will do the voice of the soldier since we can see it.
Too late.
Sind die Scheiße!
The only way out is to kill the crowd. Zimbabwe, let's go. Lolo, do you get offended in today's day and age of political correctness if I call you a kraut?
Really?
No?
Really? Bruh, he's a mudblood. Why would he care?
Ooh, the Führer is fueling me to the treasure.
Chat.
Guys, I wish you could really hear the sound. Because... Oh, maybe you can on Discord.
I do too.
You do?
No,
on Discord?
No, I can't.
Oh, because
No,
I'm
we
sharing
can't,
the...
Alfonso.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I told you, unless you share the game, we can't hear the sound.
It's... do-do-do-do, bow, bow, bow. It gets old quick, though, I must say. Like, it would be fun the
like
first 2
a
minutes,
20-second loop?
It's almost loopy because I keep, playing. So. When I was a kid, I had pen and paper to keep up with where I'm going.
Ah, mein Banane!
Oh shit, I'm getting shot at. Oh!
Ah, du bist tot!
So Lolo, you're on looking at some ancient scrolls. You have something to tell us?
I am looking at the ancient cybernetic scrolls called Wikipedia.
Oh. In the 4-4 time. The long scrolls of Wikipedia.
Who apparently are now asking for money. It's been a while since I've been to Wikipedia.
Well, they always ask for money.
Really?
Yeah, of course. They thrive on donations. That's how they keep the site alive.
What's his name? Jimmy something, right?
Say again.
The name of the guy? Yeah, Jimmy. He always goes.
I don't know the name of the founder.
We can't do this without you.
But yeah, so early computer RPGs were inspired by the formula of the pen and paper role-playing game Dungeons and Dragons from 1974.
Sure.
And apparently, I wish this was a bit more specific, but it does reference the Ultima series and the Wizardry series, which themselves served as a blueprint for Dragon Quest and Final Fantasy.
Makes sense.
But I wish they had something more specific with the dates.
I know that first person wise, it really was Carmack and Romero in id Software when they developed Wolfenstein and Doom that they coded it like a true 3D as opposed to a fake 3D with 2D. Like they were the first ones for shooters in 92 and 93. This one being the first one.
The beauty of the... Yeah, exactly. It was a 2.5D, really. It was to give you the illusion that you were walking 3D, but you weren't. You were really standing in place, having walls move around you, really. It's a different sort of concept. But it still gave that illusion pretty well.
Yes. And not the whole thing of, like, even 2D Nintendo was like it worked kind of like a roll of paper, like a roll that you're looking at, and if you keep turning it, the character would move, and it's the environment that moves, the character stays still. You know what I mean? Like, you're technically moving the whole environment, even though Mario is always right there. That was like the early way to code it. And then, after that, they managed to actually code your character moving in the environment. It's pretty difficult stuff to do at the time. Like, it's like the type of shit that seems obvious when you know already a little bit about it. But at the time, it must have been very difficult to find a way to do it. That's why Nintendo, managed to keep kind of a monopoly on those side-scrollers. And they didn't manage to make other games of that style. Took a while before finding success on PC. Because Nintendo kept their shit tight. It was a secret.
But the secret they held on for the rest of their lives until it was uncovered.
Is this the way?
Secret no more.
No.
So you're going back. You're like heading back at this point.
Okay. And let's... This way? Now see, we're going
to
back.
The left. Then to the left.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I think you were correct.
See? Yes, I am correct. You haven't been here.
Where is Hans? And Fritz? And Ellenwood. Oi! Not this time, motherfucker. Ja, slag. So, it's been a while since we did a Hangout fun stream, you guys.
Yeah.
True that.
Yeah, we've all been busy with our own lives. Yeah.
Vacationing.
With summer vacation, yes. I was in the wild, wild west of Europe.
Nice.
Very dusty, very dry.
I imagine isn't it fucking hot down there at this point?
It was it was so like intense being outdoors, like in the middle of the day, like between midday and 3. The best place to be is inside a house. Like if you have those good houses that stay fresh. These type of temperatures.
Get psyched. Which part of Valentage were you in? Like, with what city, county?
Pretty close off Almeida.
Oh, okay. So, Costa Vicentina. Still fresh, though.
Like an hour and a half by car from the coast, still into the interior.
Oh, okay, okay. Anything over 30k, it starts to get really hot, I would say. Like, anything over 5k is hot, anything over 30k is like really hot. And if you go 50, 100k into the interior, good luck, my friend.
Yeah, those are
the fucking oven, man. Because it's also hot at night.
We brought the dog with us, and
yes.
Huh?
In the interior, it's also hot at night. You know, it doesn't get chilly as much.
Yes.
Like it does on the coast. Oof! Someone's shooting at me. Hand. Ah.
Goddamn General Gruber! How dare you! Sorry, Lawrence, you were saying you brought the dog with you.
Was the hound?
Yeah, just saying, yeah, the dog, she was super happy about being in the middle of the farmland and stuff, but she was also a little bit overwhelmed by all the heat. So, in the middle of the day, she was super excited to be out, and then she wanted to go back inside the house.
Of course.
Did you have a pool?
After. Nope. So, yeah, our biggest walks would be early in the morning and then right before dinner.
So even though you're on holiday, you're waking up early?
Of course.
Ew.
Well, mainly me and my dad. Me and my dad, we were awake already by 7.
What?
My brother and my mother, they were only awake by 10 or 11.
Also, don't you know that both me and Lawrence wake up early? Like, is this
I know,
news for
but
you?
you're on a holiday. It still hurts my feelings.
We're always on holiday, Afonso.
Then why would you even ever wake up that early?
That's my point. You just don't like waking up early. Some people do, bro.
No.
Like I said, some people are morning people, some people are not morning people. Some people are morning and night
morning
people.
are people.
Yeah, exactly. Some nights are people.
Some nights.
Sure. Absolutely. But yeah, Afonso, you go to bed like at 3 or 4 a.m. if you can, and then if you can, you sleep until 12 or 1.
Yeah.
I go to bed at midnight maximum, or 1 maximum, and I wake up at 6:37. That's what I do.
I'll say that I think that 2 a.m.-ish until 10 is ideal.
Sure, the 8 hours, obviously.
Yeah, 3 to 11 is okay. 1 to 9 is already early for me.
Is it because you have busy days and so you like to unwind while you are home and you really take your time to.
That's
Just,
part of
chillax.
it's part of the
Or-
reasons why I sleep a
Okay.
little less on Fridays. Like I also want to do these things, right? And if I have the energy to do them, I will.
Yeah.
But usually it's also just I like the peace and quiet that I have at night. So for example, when I was writing the thesis,
Picking up the cat.
I have shit to
Yes.
do, but I have my own schedule, right? I would go to bed around 2 a.m. and wake up at 10. That was what I found really perfect for me, whilst doing the things I need to do during the day. But I love the peace and quiet of nighttime, of just enjoying my time, knowing I'm not going to be interrupted by calls or texts or noise from outside or noise from the neighbors. I really enjoy it. It's when I recharge batteries. You know?
I can dig it.
I'm
Yeah,
a
me too.
closeted introvert, so to say. But
Okay. If you
meaning
say
I
so.
don't come off as one, but I do
And
need my
you
alone
guys
time.
been watching anything of late?
Ooh, many
Whoa,
things.
whoa, whoa! You guys talked at the
Guys-
same time.
Yeah,
What?
sorry. Go for it, Papu. Go first.
Yeah, many. I was answering your question. Been watching many things. Yes.
Many things. Okay, yeah.
That's nice.
Such as
Such as Tekken
any
Bloodlines.
nice recommendations?
Tekken Bloodlines is
Right.
cool if you're a Tekken
That was a
fan.
bit iffy. I wouldn't go
And
so far.
I think it was cool. You know how what was it again? Record of Ragnarok. You remember that shit? It came out last year.
Oh my
Yeah.
god! And
Where-
they're releasing a second season of it.
Yeah, I know. I couldn't take it anymore because every single episode is like, you know how in Dragon Ball
Too.
and
Yeah.
Naruto, it takes 10 episodes, 20 episodes to cover a fight. In
To
Record
finish
of
a fight,
Ragnarok,
yeah.
it takes one episode per move, you know, and they interrupt the fight mid-move to give you a flashback on the
Yeah.
character's backstory, blah blah blah. It's
I mean,
way
the
too
concept is so good. It has
Yes.
all the possibilities of working, but the production value is just terrible.
Yeah, terrible
It's
execution.
really, really, really bad.
slow. I will
Yeah,
say
it
though,
probably works best on paper.
yeah. So
Animation.
taking that into account, Tekken is too quick. Like the fights should be 1 or 2 episodes, in my opinion, but they're too fast. It just which takes away meaning from how good and powerful and cool these characters are. But I think it also suffers a bit from the
I will-
Castlevania issue, which is that if you're going to watch only one season, it feels too short and not dense enough. Which is what I felt when I
Well,
saw
the first
Castlevania for
season
the first time.
was
An introduction. pretty much.
almost like a pilot itself, right?
Yes.
They were trying
exactly.
Netflix animation department were trying to prove that they were a viable investment. So the first season of Castlevania was the first in-house Netflix animation production that was really going all out. Like they were sparing no production value, right? They were using all the animation to the fullest, which is why I think Castlevania was so successful, because you can really feel when you watch the series that even the scenes that are not action, they are extremely well animated in the composition of the shots and the color
But also,
palette. and the
it was
fluidity
written
and
by a
dynamic
very
animation.
good writer, man. I mean,
Well, there you go.
Warren
yeah.
Ellis and Michael Bendis. No, that team up is no joke.
Tekken, on the other hand, I feel like it really fell short. Like their strongest suit was definitely the combat choreographies, and unfortunately, that's the part where they had less in their series. I wish they had more fighting choreographies to the caliber that they were able to display at times, and to my personal tastes, they spend too much time stretching out narratives that didn't need to be stretched out, focusing too much on few characters instead of diversifying your focus in the vast, diverse cast of Tekken, right? Yeah, I think it was a big mistake in this specific Tekken Blood thingy series. They could have spent more time with other members of the cast instead of just focusing with Jin and Heihachi.
Yeah, I think so too. I think that, for example, for every episode where we get, let's say Paul, right, or Phoenix or whatever, Paul Phoenix. Every time that they show up and they're about to fight, give us a flashback on the guy, and what his life was like and how he got to the tournament. That would have been fine. And then have an actual episode where they fight and there's an outcome and so on and so forth.
By the way, we can see your desktop and shit, yeah? Just letting to
on the Twitch? Yeah, that was just for a moment, right? Now it's gone.
Yeah,
right?
I can't anymore, yeah.
Okay, good. I'm just
I
rearranging
think you're
some
just,
stuff.
it's a bit behind for you, Lawrence, because
Okay, that's why.
he's more ahead now. But,
I'm scared.
Yes, like strength of fighting games in general is the diversity of the cast, right? That's what makes, I would say, the narrative of arcade fighting games. It's not the story themselves. It's just like how can you make a cast compelling just by how unique each fighter is and what they have to bring to the context that they find themselves in. And unfortunately, Tekken Bloodline, I think, fell short of what Tekken has to offer.
Yes, I agree with you. The first episode was pretty strong, though, right? The whole thing with his mom and the ogre.
I think
that's Tekken 3.
The first 2 episodes they could have crammed into 1 episode, for example.
Sure.
There are scenes that are way too stretched out.
Yeah.
And it's awesome that we can see like part of the lore like executed in that way. Like there is a similar movie, but that focuses on the story of Tekken 2, for example. It's an animated movie from the 90s. I don't know if you've ever seen this movie.
Yeah. I think you can find it on YouTube still. That's where I saw it.
Yeah. Yeah, you should be able to find it on YouTube, actually. Good point.
Street Fighter 2 movie as well. Very cool. True, but you're right there. You're around the money. I think that there's some stuff that wasn't. Oh, so close. There's a lot of stuff that was cut too short in the movie, and then other things that were prolonged for no reason. And not the movie. Sorry, the TV series. The first 2-3 episodes.
The TV series.
Meaning those ones were a bit prolonged for no good reason, but then that actual tournament part was cut so short. It's it was a little bit disappointing in that aspect, but the 7/8-year-old, 10-year-old, 12-year-old in me still enjoyed it, I must say.
Okay.
So
I get that.
But if it was an unenjoyable experience overall for those people, then I guess it's good that it was just one season.
For me, it gives me a little bit a bad taste.
Yeah, so good thing that it was just 6 episodes or a short movie, right? As opposed to another 13.
That's true.
Maybe you wouldn't have watched it more if it was.
Yeah, that's true. Right? They couldn't have made it work if they wouldn't have changed the current formula. Yes. I don't know if they're going to continue with those series or not. If they do, I hope they found a way to improve on what they have, because the fighting choreographies are very enjoyable to watch. It's very cool, like how dedicated they are to detail. Like even in terms of movesets, it's the actual combos from the characters.
Yeah, I loved recognizing that in the series, that they actually they're faithful awesome to the moves.
I should have focused on stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's probably the strength of the series, and I guess it would have increased the budget, but yeah, they should have leaned those aspects a bit more. And yeah, just in terms of narrative, if you remember, like Tekken 3, for example, the story was really cool and impactful because there was a lot of room for your imagination as well. Like narrative tidbits were mostly with cinematics that you would get rewarded with by completing the game, right? You would complete 10 stages of fighting, right, with each character in the arcade mode, and then you get rewarded with a cinematic in the end.
Yeah, that's the old school way for fighting games.
Yeah, it gives you either the follow-up of what happened after the tournament, or it gives you a little bit of an origin story, one or the other.
Exactly.
And when you have all the characters,
that
it kind of bundles up like a big puzzle, and you can see the full picture of the whole story. It's beautiful. Sorry, I took the words from your mouth.
No. It's precisely the point I was getting to. Like they unfortunately didn't take advantage of the tapestry of the cast that they had in order to make the dynamic of the narrative more engaging, I would say. And sometimes less is best. The problem I have with the current iteration of this series is because they spend too much time trying to make it, they don't know if they want to make themselves like a serious, edgy anime drama or like, especially with a character like Jin Kazama, where else can you take that character, unfortunately? So sometimes less is best. Don't overstay your welcome, or don't try to develop too much stuff that isn't really there to begin with.
Okay, here's a take that I want you guys to... I mean, you've seen the series, Jack, I don't know, but do you think that they were trying to compromise between bringing Tekken to new viewers, but also like doing a little bit of fan service, but they couldn't quite satisfy the OG fans?
I didn't watch the series, so... I didn't watch it. So.
Okay.
I have no interest in watching it.
Yeah.
I think the business plan was definitely leaning on what you said,
Yeah, but I think they failed a little bit at that. And honestly, I think that I don't like this. I mean, you know how some animated shows now are like bordering on 3D, right? And some of them are full on 3D.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of it. I prefer super refined animation like Attack on Titan, like Castlevania. That is such a pleasure to watch, in my opinion. And Tekken, the original movie, had that, so they kind of missed an opportunity here to do that, you know?
Yeah, but even those animes that you refer to, they do have 3D scenes that are polished in a way to look like 2D scenes.
Of course,
like,
but it's not.
They managed to use it sparingly, right? In a way that. Yeah, absolutely. For example, the wire sequences in Attack on Titan, where it's this very bombastic, fluid, dynamic movement where they're just being propelled through the buildings. A lot of those scenes are actually 3D animation that is made to look like 2D animation. But if you're really into really good 2D animation, like I recommend you watching Demon Slayer. Like it has
so good. It's so good.
Most like impressive 2D animation of current.
It really does, Afonso. I don't know why you didn't keep watching it.
Current days.
It's still on my list.
It's so good.
Should. Is it finished?
No.
3 seasons, basically. Each season, I think. Actually, I don't know, but I think season 2 and 3 are like 12 episodes each or 13 episodes each. The first season, I don't remember if it was 22 or something episodes.
Yeah, it was longer, but I don't remember.
It was longer, wasn't it? Yeah.
But the first season is also much slower and boards like a lot more than
first third or half of the first season.
It's all on the train.
It does not show what it has to offer just yet.
So, exactly. I'm not interested in Tekken because I'm not a fan to begin with, and for me, it's like
makes sense. Yeah.
Not that I'm not a fan, as in like I'll play it if it's a game that's there, but it's not a game that I will be like, oh my god! Like for fighting games, for me, it's always going to be Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat.
That would be the equivalent if Netflix released a series that you would be interested in checking out. Then
Street Fighter animated series or a Mortal Kombat animated series, sign me up.
The Street Fighter animated movies are great. Like they're really good. The Mortal Kombat movies, no matter how shitty they are, I absolutely love them. I adore those movies.
The old ones, the new one is okay. I saw it on the plane. A bit disappointed.
I didn't watch the new ones. I'm talking about the old ones.
It's got redeeming qualities, the new one. But yeah.
Wasn't it a web series as well, Mortal Kombat Legacy?
There was a fan-made web series that was very, very good. Indeed. It's like 6 episodes long or something like that? Or 10?
Yeah, I didn't watch it, but I remember.
The title, or?
I think it was Legacy, I think.
It's maybe 10 years old, something like that? About?
Mortal Kombat Legacy.
5-10 years old?
I think that's it.
Legacy.
Jack, help me out. Where do we gotta go?
Dude, I don't know. I haven't been following your every move.
No!
I've smoked a cigarette. No, it wasn't a web. No, it's not the movie. It was a web series. It was on YouTube at some point.
Yes.
Web series anthology adapted from the functional universe of Mortal Kombat video game franchise. Yes. What is this?
Wow.
2011. Does that make sense?
Yes,
that makes sense. Yes.
It debuted on machinima.com's YouTube channel. The season was released on its entirety on September 26, 2013.
Yeah, that's the one. I didn't watch it, but I heard good things about it at the time it came out. I don't know if it's good or not.
I saw it once at the time, and it was pretty cool. You do there's a B-movie vibe to it, but well executed.
Yeah. The director of the original short film that later became the basis for the web series, he submitted the concept to Warner Brothers and New Line Cinema, and they both declined back then.
Well, you gotta think, Mortal Kombat is always shrouded in controversy, and the movies flopped. Not too surprised at big production houses.
Yeah, 2008, 2009, respectively, so...
Makes sense. Why are there so many pictures of Hitler? Like, dude, we get it. You're the Führer, bro.
Dude, at one point, it was mandatory.
You gotta flip assets.
Dude, there's just like... I don't get it. It's like there's one right in front of the other. At least space it out. This looks like a well-designed Minecraft, Luftwaffe. It makes no sense, bro. It's insane.
It was the 90s.
All right.
Okay.
It was the 90s. Don't give me that excuse.
But yes, on my end, I finished watching second season of 86, which I will recommend if you are a fan of fictional war tragedies or mecha action or the concept of cast of characters suffering through trauma and then experiencing this type of emancipation through hope. It's very gutsy.
Japanese.
It's very nicely written. Well, it's anime, so yeah. But
did they win through the power of friendship?
No. It's more like. Well, you are kind of you did watch the first episode or two, right? Of Gundam Iron-Blooded Orphans.
Yeah.
So it's very much like that series because of a plot point that you haven't reached yet. So I'm not gonna spoil it. But yeah, it's very emotional, kind of sad, but finding the silver lining in tragedy type of thing.
Well, I do remember that in
and
that
it's this
series they throw
concept.
you in the pool immediately. Like they don't
Yeah.
sugarcoat. They don't try too hard to introduce stuff. Like, yeah, there's mechs, it's the
Exactly,
futurist Gundam. Try to figure it out and piece it up together.
Where Iron-Blooded Orphans, it's about this solar system war where they use child soldiers, for example, like in private mercenary groups. In 86, it's like this stylistically inspired by European aesthetics from the early 20th century. Maybe like the first 30 decades of the 20th century Europe. And it's this fictional concept where AI went berserk, and AI uses like these mechanized tanks that travel with legs as opposed to wheels. So they look like a bit like scarab-looking tanks, and they are very like fluid and dynamic. And the old countries and nations are like being ravaged from all fronts by this army of AI adversaries, and you are presented with a nation that idolizes a certain ethnicity and doesn't allow any other ethnicities to live in their territory. And officially they say that they don't use any human soldiers in their war. They only use mechanized tanks. But the sad truth is that all these mechanized quadrupod tanks are piloted by real people who are all from ethnicities that the state doesn't allow to live in their territory. So it's like very iffy from the get-go. And the character you are introduced with is like this young woman who becomes a military officer and finally gets the truth and tries to change the ways of her country the best she can, and let these pilots know that she wants to be their comrade above all, instead of just their commanding officer. The other series I watched is much more lighthearted and has been very popular of late. I don't know if you've heard about Spy X Family.
Nope.
I've heard of it, but I haven't watched it.
It's very fun to watch. It's nothing special story-wise, but it's very funny and just like a good watch, all in all.
Okay.
Yeah. That's all I have to say about that. It's
fair play.
It's good strawberry and cream type of digestive entertainment.
It's always nice, a little refresher on the palate. It's always nice. Well, at least you boys been watching anime. I haven't watched anime in forever.
Yeah.
I haven't watched anything in forever, really. Barely watching stuff.
Other than anime, yeah, I saw the first 2 episodes of She-Hulk.
Oh, I did not yet. I'm waiting for it to finish, but I'm not too
okay.
hyped about it.
That looks terrible.
Yep.
I will say they marketed in a very strange way. I get what they were trying to do with their marketing and why they did it that way, but unfortunately it does not give a good look to the series. And the first episode is also a bit of a strange I'm not gonna exaggerate in saying that it's a tough pill to swallow. Like, it's not that bad. It's just like, okay, I get that you want to make your new protagonist like you want your audience to get attached to your protagonist, so you want them to make them appear real good, but you shouldn't do that by putting down other characters, right?
Right.
Sure.
The value of the character you're trying to introduce should not be by, what the fuck is the expression or the term? I'm
Punching
looking
up
for?
or punching down?
Sometimes, yeah, really, yeah. But after episode 2, I'm slightly more interested in what this series has to offer, because I did not know it was going that direction. And I don't understand why they didn't showcase that in the marketing.
Okay.
What about you, Jack? What have you been sticking your
Sorry, yeah.
No,
screens into?
no, I haven't been. Like I said, I haven't really been watching anything. I'm trying to think, but I think I've been mostly rewatching things. Mostly, I haven't really been doing watching anything new. I finished. I was missing the last episode of the Staircase series on HBO for like a month and a half, and I finished it like a couple of days ago. What else? I restarted watching Norseman.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes, and yes, yes.
Yeah. And what else?
Who approves?
Papu, of course you approved. And aside from that, I don't know. I have a lot of things on the list that I'm. Oh, I saw the first episode of House of the Dragon as well.
Oh,
Yeah, how's that?
It's
Everyone is curious.
well,
No one is watching it.
well, I mean, it's. I can imagine it'll get better.
Right.
I don't like.
Just the first episode.
It's just the first episode, and it's within the vibe. It does what it's meant to do. It's still Game of Thrones. It's got a quite appealing cast altogether, aside from the main character, which I absolutely hated. But the main character also, I think, only appears in the first 2 episodes with that actress, because then
There's a
like
time
20
skip.
years pass by. There's a time skip, yeah. So we'll see where that goes. But aside from that, like, yeah, it was a good watch. I don't know. I didn't feel like it. I can understand why it's blowing up, but I was very surprised it's already rated 9.1 on IMDb. I was like, Jesus, guys, come on.
I think people just missed Game of Thrones in general, but also they missed having a good Game of Thrones show. People were so burned out by season 8
Yeah, I know.
that, yeah. The franchise coming back like this.
True. But yeah, like, no, I enjoyed the production value is at its best as per usual. I mean, it is still an
that's
HBO
nice
show.
to know. I'm a bit concerned about the Lord of the Rings show, that it looks like a bunch of people in at a convention or cosplay.
The Lord of the Rings show. The Lord of the Rings show looks amazing. Sorry, but I disagree.
No,
I think
meaning
that it's gonna be
I
a
didn't
lot
see any
better
footage.
than
I'm saying that it look.
House of the
I'm
Dragon.
scared that it might look too clean and too neat. You know, that it
Sure.
doesn't look lived in. The costumes, the settings, too much green screen, too many. The lighting might be weird or not feeling natural. You know how it looks like sometimes. They always want to make them look good.
Sure.
Like in Lord of the
Yes.
Rings movies, the lighting is amazing.
Yeah, but
you never feel
you
like they're in
can
a
definitely
studio.
tell like the green screen and all that, and
Sure.
computer-
That's limited by the technology of the time, even though it still holds up very well. But what I mean is sometimes the difference between Game of Thrones and Merlin, for example. You know Merlin? The fantasy show?
Wow, Alfonso,
No,
Jesus.
it's
I
like
wouldn't
night
go
and
so
day.
far, but
I'm asking
you
if
are,
it's going to be
gonna-
like that. I'm worried it might be like that.
No,
It's
it
not gonna
won't
be like that.
But I know exactly what you're saying, and I was actually just the other day watching a comparison and like a breakdown of why those two shows feel so night and day. It's because the Lord of the Rings, the story of the rings or whatever it's called,
Rings of Power.
Yes, Tales of Rings.
Yes. A Sonic solo show.
The way it's shot, it feels like a photo shoot for the cover of a magazine.
Yeah.
Where the actors and the cast are extremely well illuminated from all sides.
Exactly.
In a way that their features are put into evidence very predominantly.
They always look great from every angle.
Game of Thrones, there's only one source of light, at best two, in every scene setting, and it's all tried to be like natural light, right? So if you have candle lighting inside of a room, you only have this faint effect, and then you just allow the shadow to make your image composition, right? So you have your cast like 3/4 shadow, 1/4 lit up. So even the type of cinematography, not in terms of camera, but in terms of how to light your scene, those two shows are two different schools of cinematography in that sense. So
Witcher
that
season
might
1,
be
right? Suffered a little bit from that, in my opinion. Sorry to interrupt you.
Okay.
But you know what I mean. There were scenes where they're supposed to be in a shade, but there's light on their face. Like, what's going on here? But season 2, they actually adapted a lot better, in my opinion. Out of all those shows, which type of style do you enjoy more? Out of all those,
both. It just depends what I feel like eating visually. Like if I want a cheeseburger or a pizza, or if I want like a nice salmão na brasa, or.
I will tell you boys one thing. Like as far as streaming services go and visual production of movies and series, there is no. There is a clear winner that is not even being talked because not that many people watch
Amazon?
it, which is
Hulu?
Apple TV.
Oh yeah,
Interesting. It's not the first time I hear that.
Apple TV, in terms of imagery, has the best image. Fucking, I imagine that even Adriana was telling me the other day, she thinks that they actually film shit in 8K at this point. And the imagery is just so crisp and beautiful in all the shows and all the movies. It looks amazing.
The pores have pores.
It's so good. Yeah, something like that, bro. It looks great. Like it really looks amazing.
You can watch it with your glasses on, without your glasses.
Well, you can watch anything without your glasses. I mean, you'll see anything.
No, but I mean you.
No, I still won't see anything.
It fixed my eyesight.
But yeah, that is the clear winner. And then the other ones for me are all on the same
What
line.
shows from Apple TV would you say that showcase that?
Foundation.
I'm not very familiar with their.
Maybe Foundation, which it's based on some stories by Isaac Asimov. There's a couple other ones. What are the other ones?
Verboten. That's in Dutch. Verboten.
I put Foundation images on Google and it's just like makeup products. So
yeah.
Well, Alfonso, Lawrence. I mean, come on, bro.
TV series.
Jesus. But there's another one with Jason Momoa called C, which also has good imagery.
Is this like a sci-fi or fantasy
You can
series? Or is this like dystopian? I'm getting like dystopian type of vibes in here.
It's based on the book by Asimov. I don't know enough about sci-fi to discuss it with you, and I have only watched it from side glancing, but it looks really, really good. Adriana was watching it.
called C, right? So it probably looks very good.
No, I'm not saying C. I'm saying Foundation of Funson.
Oh
yeah.
man! You
But
took
C
the
as
fun
well.
out
Like
of it.
it looks good.
See, as in
As in seeing, yeah.
seeing. Okay.
But then you have other documentaries like Tiny World and just the imagery is just.
David S. Goyer, really interesting.
But yeah, the imagery is just great. I mean, I watched The Servant, which was the last series I watched here, and The Servant is amazing. And the imagery is really good as well. And I started watching one called My Psychiatrist with Will Ferrell and
That's still on Apple TV, yeah?
Yeah, and Paul Rudd.
Got it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good combo.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Is that exclusive for Apple TV?
Yes. The ones I'm mentioning are Apple TV exclusives.
Okay.
But in any case, anything you'll watch here, you will see the quality of the image is just superior. Of course, you need to have a TV that can showcase that as well. Otherwise, you won't be able to tell the difference, obviously.
That's my
We're
issue.
entering an era where there's just too many streaming platforms, and I can only allow myself to pay for a few. Right now, I have Amazon Prime, I have Disney Plus and Netflix. I'm interested in HBO Plus, but
just
you mean
rotate.
HBO Max?
HBO Max, yeah, sorry.
Lawrence, it's mostly it's the one I watch the most, honestly. Yeah. It's HBO Max. But the thing is, you got to think about it on another level. It's what I do with my family. It's me, my sister, and my mom each buy one of the streaming services and upgrade it to or Family Pack or just the service itself. So like that, you can have all the streaming services and everybody pays something different. And everyone can watch. That's sort of how you have to do these things if you kind of want to watch everything, I guess. I mean, the one I watched the least is Prime, even though I have it.
Yeah, same. For me, Prime is mostly because of Amazon shipping and stuff like that. And you give me a streaming service as well? Sure, I'll take it.
But it does have something. They remove. Actually, I was gonna restart watching Battlestar Galactica because I've only seen the 2 seasons. I didn't.
They removed it?
They removed it. Yeah.
Oh, fucking idiots.
They removed it. I was like, fuck me. So yeah. But I mean, it's still got The Expanse and it's still got other shit.
Expanse is really good.
Yeah, I've been meaning to start it for ages, but I got other things, complicated things on my plate, i.e.
In terms of
Westworld.
sci-fi, it's no doubt one of my favorite shows. Yeah, but I feel you, man. There's just too much stuff to follow and watch, and yeah.
I mean, I have Apple TV, Amazon Prime, Netflix, HBO Max, and Film In, and I think that I don't know if I have any other one or not.
I think you guys are ready to start another podcast channel, like Jack and Papu talk
shit
industry.
And what series?
Yeah. So I have 6 different streaming services. I have Apple TV, Prime, Netflix, Disney Plus, HBO Max, and Filmin. Those are the 6 I have. Still not enough, bro.
Time to get that Spotify deal for your podcast.
You should, but Lolo, if you wonder how you can afford all of them, just rotate. Keep 2 a month.
Maybe I should do that.
You can do that as well. Yeah, absolutely.
As soon as there's nothing new on whatever platforms I have, I should just stop and and then try out the new one. But then, yeah.
Oh, another series I forgot that since you were asking before what we were watching.
Yep.
The new season of What We Do in the Shadows came out.
Oh, I think I'm going to have to mute myself and absent myself. I'll be right back.
That's okay. No worries.
Go ahead.
And dude, you gotta watch the series. It's
werewolves,
so good.
not werewolves.
Bruh, the series is so good. So good.
Yeah.
I really recommend.
I love
the
that
first
movie.
two seasons are on Disney Plus, so you can watch them there. The new one is only on HBO. But the thing is, the movie is great, obviously, but the series, it adds to it as well. It's just really good. It's
But
really,
is it the
really
series
fun.
from a few years ago, or is it a current one?
It came out like 2 years ago.
Okay. Because they had something, they had stuff done together before. But it's not What We Do in the Shadows series, it's something else.
But who are you talking about specifically now?
The Concords guys and
Yeah, but the Concords
them
guys
as
don't appear
buddies.
in the series. Understand? The series is not with them. They're in the movie. They created the movie.
So it's with a different cast as well.
Yes, yeah, it's still created by them.
I
They
see.
still appear in one or two episodes.
But it's
as,
like a spin-off kind of thing.
Well, I think that the first season, at least half of it, or partially part of it, sort of follows a very similar thematic as the movie, and maybe a few of the same things because it introduces it, I guess. But then it really goes on its own, like adventure type thing, and it has the addition of an energy vampire, which doesn't exist in the movie.
Cool.
So it's really fun. I highly recommend it.
We're talking about What We Do in the Shadows. Or...
Yeah.
Yes. I was telling Afonso that it's also on Disney Plus if you want to give it a go, Lawrence, because it's really the first 2 seasons are. So it's really worth it. Like it's super fun.
Hold
super,
on, you guys.
People. Yeah, I thought it was like. Reason I thought it was in some other platform.
Yeah, it's the thing is, it's an HBO. It's releasing on HBO, but it also got partially on Disney Plus. Plus, it's only released the 3rd season now, so really, it has the first 2 seasons on Disney Plus. So it's worth a check out. Like, it's really funny.
Okay.
And aside from that, those probably were the things that I've watched in the later days. Actually, I was in Coimbra last weekend, and I'm going there again tomorrow. But I was in Coimbra, and I forgot the charger for my laptop because I intended to do some streaming and things, but it wasn't in the cards. And what I ended up doing is that I actually just replayed a campaign of Dragon Force on my phone.
Lol. How many times have you restarted a campaign on Dragon Force? When was the last time that you actually completed the...
Well, the last time I completed it might have been 2 or 3 years ago. Okay. But this time I was just during the weekend, whenever I wasn't with people, I was like on my phone, like, fuck it, I can do this. I think it took me 10 to 15 hours to finish a campaign. So I didn't, but I finished it. And it's such a good game.
Oh, it was slightly longer, the game. That's the first game or is it the second game? Because
the first
remember
one.
Remember you telling me that you preferred certain things in the second game, like in terms of game mechanics or something?
Yeah. The thing is, I wanted to play the second one, but the emulation on my phone wasn't really working properly for the second one, so I just went for the first one. And the first one, even though I do prefer the second because it just added so many things that are great, I know the first one pretty well. Like, I know the side quests, I know the hidden parts, the hidden secrets, the hidden characters. I've played it a lot. So for me, I can breeze through it a lot more easily. Also, I know kind of what... Because the thing about the first game is it really depends which faction you pick in the beginning of the game. That's going to influence the whole gameplay. Is this going to be a lot more complicated?
Which side of the map? and what are the first things you're gonna get as you expand.
Exactly. And I chose Tristan, which is the one that has a commander queen, sort of like a Samus type character. And with her, it's a relatively easy campaign because the troops are good troops. So I managed to finish it pretty fast. But yeah, I've done the most complicated campaign of all, which is, from my opinion, Gongos, which is the Beast Men, because they're all just useless. They're fucking useless. And that one took me very long to do, if I remember correctly. Because also the thing about the game is, until you reach a certain point, as in like when you've conquered about 3 or 4 kingdoms, that's when the game starts going fast. Until then, it's a very slow development type game. And you need to be doing a lot of things all the time.
There's a tipping point where I see.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's the last thing that I was also doing. Was one I should have if I had my computer, like I really want to finish because I was streaming the campaign at some point.
Remember you did like 3 streamings on it. 3 streaming sessions.
And I think I was even playing with Wayne, which is the basic. It's sort of like the beginner guy.
Basic hero. Yes.
Yeah, pretty much is the basic hero.
Good to Japan Papo on YouTube to check it out.
Yeah, but I need to grab back that thing and see where I'm at. I think that I was literally just had finished meeting up with
lady of magic and whatever, the blue girl. Yeah.
Yes, I believe that was the last thing I did. So I should grab that again and finish that stream. And another game I've been playing, which honestly, so far this year, it's been one of the really fun, surprising games that I've played. That I find it great. It's super ingenious, super beautiful in art style. Which is Cult of the Lamb. Have you heard of this?
I have heard of it
I did.
recently
I
on
was
gaming
tempted to send you the reviews. I've not only the reviews, but there's this new podcast I've been watching / listening called Friends Per Second, and it's made out of these 4. Some of them are YouTubers, others they just work in the industry. One of them is Gerard, the completionist.
Oh yeah, sure.
The other one is Skillup. I don't know if you know who Skillup is.
No idea.
He makes some gaming news as well. Then there is Lucy. I think she works for one of those video game outlets. I don't know if it was Game Informer or GameSpot or something like that. And then there was this other dude who I keep forgetting his name, but he's also pretty popular on YouTube. But never mind. But yeah, Cult of the Lamb, like it looked very interesting. Yeah.
Cult of the Lamb is awesome.
When I saw it, I was tempted in sending you some stuff, but then I assumed, this is definitely going to fall in Peter's radar.
You know me, bro.
Not even gonna bother sending stuff.
No. When it's indie games, also because it's published by Devolver Digital, and I pretty much follow them.
Okay.
So any games they develop, I'm always behind it 100%. Generally, they've never let me down as far as I can remember. So, but yeah, like I think I played about 3 hours of the game because I didn't have time to play more. But so nice. The concept is so fun, and the fact that the game is divided, and sort of a portion of it is roguelite.
For those who don't know, how would you explain the game?
Yeah, it's basically the plot line is very simple. The plot line is that you are a lamb that's being basically sacrificed, and as you are being killed, you appear in front of a god that has basically been prophesized was going to come back to Earth and destroy the current guys that are, owning Earth or whatever. So he brings you back to life with satanic powers, and he tells you, "You must build a cult in my name." That's pretty much it. That's the plot. So what you do is, portion of the game is basically it has roguelite elements, sort of like dungeon crawling, which is the action part of the game. You just go into randomly generated paths until you find specific bosses, and it's just literally just hack and slash roguelite type thing.
But also management of the cult, right?
Yes, that's
And
the other
sacrifice
portion.
members of your cult and stuff like that if they rebel against you. Yeah.
The other portion of the game is like a sim management type situation where it takes place outside of everything that's the fighting area. You gain followers while you're doing the hack and slash part, and then you go back to the cult. You can build farms because you need to keep them fed. You need to build shrines so they can adore you. They give you devotion. You can power up the cult. You can then create doctrines, do rituals, all these things, and you are meant to be a satanic leader. So at the end of the day, doing sacrifices, putting people to work against their will, doing it's
Stardew Valley, but it's Satan.
Yeah, but it's just the concept is so good. Like the mix of it, it works so well, and not just that, the art style is it's so adorable. It's very reminiscent of like Don't Starve or other games like that. It has that hand drawn.
What other games did that developer do that you mentioned, Devolver?
Devolver Digital, Enter the Gungeon, and let me think. It's when you put me on the spot, I'm like, wait. Oh yeah.
I'm sorry. So I'm just trying to figure out in my head, like.
So Enter the Gungeon, Shadow Warrior, Trek to Yomi, Death's Door, Inscription, A Weird West, which I have on my list that I haven't played yet, Katana Zero, Hotline Miami, Carry On, My Friend Pedro, The Messenger. Broforce.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's all these guys.
Out.
You heard just now.
You
played a bunch of these.
Or stuff that they
No. They're publishers.
Publisher.
Okay. They're publishers. They develop everything they back up. They always back up these sort of games,
Very
like all the time.
Yeah.
Some of those made it to our top 10s 2 years in a row from Devolver Digital.
Yeah.
Like more than one game on the
list.
Katana Zero was
phenomenal. If I am correct,
amazing.
I actually think that they just re-released Monkey Island as well now.
Oh,
okay.
I think so, like a new version.
It was a PC game. It's very good.
Got it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and the other game that I played that I absolutely love that I don't think I talked about on stream is Stray. Stray is just adorable.
No.
Like, it's great.
In the same vein as it's not the same vein as Cult of the Lamb, but this type of interesting original indie games. I can't remember the fucking title, but it's a game where you play as a bear, and the bear becomes the owner of a bed and breakfast, and you're trying to it's similar to Spiritfarer in some aspects, from what I understood, but it has very funny interactions along the experience apparently.
What's it called? What is this game?
Can't remember how it's called.
Bear and Breakfast? Is that what it is?
Is it? Maybe.
That'd be hilarious.
I'm trying to find it. I'm looking at it. It's Bear and Breakfast is a laid-back management adventure game where you build and run a bed and breakfast, but you're a bear.
Yes.
Is that it?
Yes.
It looks really cool.
It's good. It's a good one. It's a good.
It's got 91% positive on Steam, so I mean. Oh, but it was released not too long ago.
Yeah, it's recent.
Oh, I didn't hear of this one.
It might be in your wheelhouse.
Well, the thing is, I have so many management games that I don't really want.
Another one. Yeah, got it.
Yeah. even though I really like management games, I end up like not playing as much as I would just because it.
Scratch the surface, but then you don't necessarily delve too much in it.
Yeah, I mean, for that, I'd rather keep on playing Stardew Valley, which I have so many
Right.
different game files of it already, you know? So.
It's been a bit since I got back to it as well. But yes.
But yeah. So yeah, Stray, I highly recommend
Yeah.
as well.
It
Very cutesy.
did a lot of.
Shit.
Fuck is the word I'm looking for? Like, ripple effect, conversation, like
A lot of noise.
waves.
Yeah, it did. I was thinking about playing Stray today, actually, and I thought we have to set up the Steam thing again, because I reset my PC, remember? I was, the original, I mean, the game I initially wanted to play today was actually Stray, through Jack's
Really?
library. Yeah.
You should have, bro. You would have loved it.
Yeah, I know, but I have to download it, and you know my fucking internet and all that, like, it takes time.
Yes, I do know your internet.
Wolfenstein was 1 second, so I thought,
Yeah.
this is good. And now I'm lost! The fucking labyrinth! But Stray is something that, now that I know what to expect, I'm more inclined to try it. I expected something, it turned out to be something else, so I was just thinking, I'm not gonna buy it. Don't want to, but now that I know what to expect, I think it should be okay. Are you interested in playing Stray, Lolo?
Most def.
Okay.
But it's gonna take a while, probably until I get my new laptop, which might be soon-ish next month.
Woo! Are we gonna do a Sekiro stream?
You know it.
Whoop, 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 whoop.
Hopefully, I'll have a Jedi Fallen Order playthrough finished by then. So it's Sekiro is next on the line.
Oh, yeah.
Sekiro.
Oh, so nice. I can't wait to see you kill bosses.
And throw my controller across the room and curse my
You've played enough Dark Souls that I don't think you'll do that.
I've never thrown a controller, but still, after finishing Dark Souls 1 and trying out Bloodborne for the first time this year, I still found myself where I had to like breathe in and out for like a good 30 seconds.
Sure, but that,
okay.
but that happens, bro. That's normal.
I'm glad
That's
my
gonna
Lady
happen.
Butterfly streams are gone in the ether. You know,
Yes, exactly.
I'm very. Those were moments.
Well,
of
it's still
weakness.
content.
No bueno.
What the fuck is it called? Gaming rages gaming.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Taco rages.
game quitting.
No, there's no quitting.
Hey, that's what I always say. I'm like, I'm not gonna quit the game. What's wrong with you? It's all good.
Well, it was how can I say, an experience, an apprentissage. You know. Jesus Christ.
I
got
still
the
think
itch to
you
play
should
that the other day.
grab Sekiro again, bro.
Yeah.
You
But
always
thing
say
is-
that. I always hear you say,
Yeah,
I
I
have
know.
an
I
itch
have
to play
I
Sekiro.
have to install it, but it's on the Xbox. I don't have it on PC. You know? And now I don't want to start it again. You know what I mean?
You barely got any, you barely got far. You could literally redo
know.
what you did in like 2 hours.
No, not 2 hours, man.
Now that you've played
all
the game,
all the
yeah,
mini bosses and shit. You know.
but you didn't even you defeated what, one main boss? That's it, right?
I think so. Yeah.
You defeated the guy on horseback, the first boss. That's the only boss you
Yeah.
defeated.
The bull as
Yeah.
well.
That's not a boss.
That's not a boss. Alright. I don't know, man. It's a unique enemy that only shows up once, so I thought it would be a boss or a mini boss.
Sure, but it's
Um,
it's a mini boss, but that doesn't constitute a boss. That's what I'm saying. Like,
so,
a
like
main
the
boss,
bosses
you've only
that you
defeated
need
one.
for the endings and shit, right? I think only one. Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, because you were at Lady Butterfly, but you gave up on that.
Whose fault is that?
You also tried Genichiro, but you also gave up on that.
Right, I was fighting Genichiro.
Yeah, exactly.
Although I will say the problem I have with Secure at the moment is that it looks very ugly on my TV with the Xbox version, you know. But I think if I have a higher frame rate and resolution with the PC, it should like entice me to go back into it. There's an Activision sale at the moment on Steam, so I'll take a look at it. Go check it out.
There's an Activision sale?
Mm-hmm. And Secure was published by Activision, so... Problem is I don't have money at the moment.
To deal with Activision again of late?
Hmm?
Is there like an issue with some of their...
There's always a fucking
the
issue
name
with
is
Activision.
also ringing something of Activision.
Yeah, there was a problem with the way they treat their employees and the sale and...
Yeah,
That's all the industries, bro.
a couple of weeks ago there was some spat. Oh yeah, Call of Duty, because now they're owned by Microsoft, right? Activision Blizzard.
Yes.
And I think Sony played the card of oh no. Now Call of Duty, if Call of Duty becomes an exclusivity for Xbox, then that's going to be very unfair for Sony,
right,
because I don't even remember what the reasons were.
Because it's such a titan of the thing, like it's like putting FIFA as an exclusive or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. But it was extremely funny and hilarious.
The way Activision replied.
And a little bit... Well, not Activision themselves, but Microsoft. They said, "Oh no, like Call of Duty is not that special. That even if it were to become console exclusive, that it would impact the sales of PlayStation that much. Don't worry."
Also, Sony, you got motherfucking Bungie with you.
Exactly.
Do something, you morons.
Well, it's not only Bungie, but PlayStation thrives in exclusivities, and you don't see Microsoft bitching about it.
Well, you know that slowly by slowly they are losing some of their big exclusivities, you know? I mean,
everything is jumping to Steam and PC and whatnot.
Dude, you know that Death Stranding got added to the Game Pass 2 days ago?
Oh, to the Game Pass, actually.
Yes!
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, holy shit. Holy shit, Microsoft. You really sticking your pinky in their asshole at this point, bro. Jesus Christ. But yeah, like, when they announced Spider-Man for the PC, I was like, dude, wow.
Ghost of Tsushima will come as well at some point. It was announced already almost a year ago.
Which one?
Ghost of Tsushima will come to PC.
Sure. Absolutely. But,
I didn't know.
All those titles.
But yeah, so a lot of those titles that were exclusive are like being transferred to the PC. So at the end of the day, I mean, they will always have exclusivity on certain titles they're probably never gonna let go. I doubt. Well, I want to say I doubt that The Last of Us will jump to PC. But
I don't think so. That's Naughty Dog, so I don't think it will. Uncharted is on PC either, right? So
I think the first Last of Us is going to PC at some point. Is it not? Do I misremember that? I think there was talks about it.
I mean, I haven't heard of it, but it's
me neither.
possible.
Again, agreed. Might be possible, but I didn't hear about it.
Coming to PC. Yep.
Yeah.
It was announced like early this June.
All right.
Well, if they release the first one, they're eventually going to release the second one.
Because they're making a remake of the first game. I think that coincide with the release of the series that's coming up on HBO.
Yeah, wider audience and everything, so makes sense to put it on PC. Yeah.
Yeah.
That should be soon, actually, sometime in September, if it's correct.
Sounds about right. But yeah, I mean, I think that the big name that jumped from the exclusivity, as far as I'm concerned, was when they put God of War on PC. Like, that was
early this year as well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, God of War, they all came to PC.
Was it late last year?
Horizon?
No, it was like
January.
February this year.
January,
yeah. Yeah, because then Elden Ring came out in March or February.
Oh right, yeah, that was the big
Mm-hmm.
end of winter or beginning of spring
Late February, I think.
sensation.
20 something.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure. But it was still gotta say, I mean, even though I played over 150 hours of Elden Ring, and it is probably the game of the year from my perspective, but I have enjoyed other games since then. I don't necessarily have an itch to go back to the game at this
Sure.
point. But it's probably I do think it deserves the spot. Because not just because it is what it is, but because it had so many shrouds of expectation surrounding it since the first trailer was revealed, and it didn't disappoint.
And that's
In terms of
extremely
expectation.
rare nowadays
Yeah.
for some reason, yeah. That it manages to meet expectation like that, yeah.
Like it
Just blow it
really,
out of the
really
water.
did. And that's what I find so amazing about the game is that I remember when it got announced ages ago, and I was like keeping on top of it all the time, like, oh my god, this is going to be amazing. Everybody was like, oh my god, this is going to be amazing. And you know what? It was amazing. It is amazing. So
I didn't jump into the hype train until we saw the first extended gameplay presentation. Like I was sold out when I saw that first gameplay presentation that I could see what it could achieve. But yeah, I still have to get around that. But before that, I need to finish Sekiro and Dark Souls 3. Only then will I allow myself to jump into
War
Elden
2?
Ring.
fair
Oh,
play.
Elden Ring, sorry.
Yes. It's probably only
Even with
going
the
to happen
stutter,
next
I kept playing.
Yeah, even with the stutter. I mean, at some point I managed to take the stutter out, and I managed to play the whole game
Ah.
without stutter. But
Because in the beginning, the PC version had some performance issues, right? Or
well,
Not
I
some.
think it really depends. I don't know if for me and Afonso, if the situation is because our Asus have some issue with it. Because I don't think that
Asus,
I don't
not
know
our
that
butts.
many computers.
Asus
I know
laptop.
a lot of computers had some frame rate issues, but not necessarily
Yeah.
stutter like we did.
I didn't have frame rate issues. I mean, the stutter is technically a big frame rate drop, but
Yeah,
it's not the same issues that other people were having. You know, I wasn't having
exactly.
that. I was just having steady frame rates and then boom, stutter. And it was almost like clockwork. It came every few minutes, sometimes more apart, almost like contractions on a pregnant lady. You know.
But
And you
for
can
me,
tell.
what's awkward is that it's every From Software game that I get on my PC does that. All of them.
Right. There's gotta be something in the code.
Every From Software game. I don't know. It's weird because
Or
it
their
really
engine,
is the only game that does that to me. There's no other game like Dark Souls 3, Sekiro, Elden Ring. I think I tried Dark Souls 1 as well at some point. All of them gave me stutter. All of them. For some reason. The only way to get around it in my situation was it wasn't just that I reset my computer. It was I think that I really only had that one game.
Yeah, me
installed.
too. It did the
That
trick
was
for
the
me for the
only
most
way
part.
to take away the stutter.
Jealous cunt of a game.
Seriously.
You can't get any other games in here. Only room for me. I want to be a top priority. Nobody else.
I mean, in all fairness, when I was playing Elden Ring, all I was playing was Elden Ring, so it was okay.
Right.
But still.
Yes. Bing.
yeah, there you go.
When you finish the level, little bell goes on. Ding.
Nice.
Great.
So, how many levels have you done, Afonso? I keep feeling like you're always
Bunch.
in the first level.
No, I've done a bunch of them already.
Oh, okay.
I picked different
Have
levels.
you ever
It'll go to
tried
different floors.
Have you ever tried the LucasArts first-person shooter Dark Forces, which kind of looks like
Rings a
this Wolfenstein / Doom type of first-person?
I've played a lot of LucasArts games and Sierra games, but most of them were like point-and-click adventures or text-based games. not a first-person shooter.
Yeah, I played a few LucasArts games that were not Star Wars.
I'd recommend Dark Forces for Papu. Yeah.
Dark Force? Dark
You might
Forces?
enjoy. Dark Forces. Yeah.
Okay. There's something.
It's basically like this, but with Star Wars.
Right, okay.
And it's the first game. It's basically the plot point of Rogue One, where before the Disney times, that was the extended universe version of how they stole the plans of the Death Star.
So it's
Kyle Katarn,
one of the few canon
the protagonist.
stories outside of the movies. You mean?
Yeah.
Nice. In what year's the game from? Mid 90s, late 90s?
Late 90s, or
Okay.
mid 90s. Let me.
So it
double-check.
looks like Duke Nukem, like a bit better, a bit more colors, more pixels and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dark Forces video game. This is the precursor for the Jedi Knight series, for Jedi Academy and Jedi Outcast. That's what the series later became when it went. Yeah, this was 95 actually.
Okay.
Mid 90s.
Nukem was also 95 or 96. All these little Wolfenstein clones. But this was the OG,
basically.
the one I'm playing right now. I'm glad you guys can hear sound because the doors opening and closing and the sounds have aged. Remember when some games you could play on your computer, the sound would come off the computer in blips? You remember that?
Sure, of course.
This was one of those too. You could play it like that. Freaking DOS games, man. But if you had your speakers, it was much better.
But most people had the small Logitech speakers that you would connect with the green cable.
The nicotine stains.
Yeah, exactly.
That your parents brought from the office, right? Something like that.
Yep. Something like that, exactly. Everybody had those at some point, I think.
Believe it. It's funny how some companies just like become kings of selling just the one model of the one product, and that's everything everyone buys. Like the big lighter, for example. You know what I mean? Like that shit is stuff of legend now, you know.
Do you think Kleenex needs to sell anything that's not tissues?
Exactly. And just that tissue, no different models, I mean, there's different packaging and stuff, but they wouldn't need to if they didn't want to. People still buy it.
No, bro, it's Kleenex. People don't even say like tissue. They ask for Kleenex. Can I have a Kleenex? It's those brand name. It's like
French
jacuzzis, right?
Mm-hmm.
Jacuzzi is a brand.
Jacuzzi is a brand? Oh, I had no idea.
Yeah, jacuzzi is a brand. You have hot tubs and you have jacuzzi, which is a hot tub brand. But they're just named pretty much because that was the main brand.
Yeah, and Band-Aids apparently is also.
Yeah, there's a few of those like that. Q-tips as well.
Exactly. Tipex.
Tipex, yep. Post-it.
Those things where the name brand just becomes associated to the actual product itself. Yeah. It's a common thing. It's a good show.
Can I open this yet? No! You lied to me, Adolf! Ah, damn it. Although I must say, it is always satisfying to kill Nazis on a screen. In a game. Like, die. Evil. Because these are not just little, soldiers. They're proper evil assholes. Yes. Because if you're just infantry, they just send you to the war. They don't, keep you guarding some secret fort and stuff like that, I feel like every time he sees me, he yells, "Bitch!" But
mean, I couldn't say because I can't hear, but
I know, right? But I'm glad. The sound design has aged.
it's not like you're playing ethnic cleansing, so you're okay, bro. Either way. Oh god.
Or hatred, right? Hate or hatred. That game that came out a few years ago. That
I don't know that I know that one.
The fuck is that game?
A secret in a secret. Google it. Hate or hatred. It got banned from a bunch of stuff, but it was a game where you just like have to. It's GTA ultra violence shit. Just
Hatred?
school shooters, fantasy dream, wet dream. You know, it was really bad. It wasn't.
Hatred
It was just
is
like violent for the
Is
sake
it
of
an
violence.
isometric shoot 'em up video game?
Yeah.
Misanthropic mass killer who begins a genocide crusade to kill as many human beings as possible.
Yep.
Yeah, but it's just killing human beings. It's not necessarily killing a faction of the human beings.
No, it's the vibe. No, the vibe of it is very like.
Isn't this?
Kill
Didn't
everything
all this
fucking
shit got started with, like Postal, and then that became Manhunt, and then Manhunt.
Oh no,
became
this
something
wait a
else,
minute.
like-
This one is more recent. This Manhunt is older than this one. Like Manhunt was very.
No, I
violent
know.
story,
But
but
that's why I'm saying, like, it all started with Postal, as far as
sure,
I know.
but it
Postal
didn't
was
have
the
that
original.
vibe back then. This one is just doing it for the sake of doing it like that.
Okay.
Yeah. It's particularly bad. Like there's nothing redeeming about it, you know.
Alright.
But the violence is the
Gotcha.
only main point that they're trying to sell it.
Yeah, but that's what some people get into those games for, right? I mean,
But there was more to it
yeah.
in those games. This one, no, there's nothing. Like I said, bad bro. All right, I'm gonna rush B. No, this is where it came from. Oh la la. Oh, I've started watching the Orville. You know, the Star Trek parody from
Seth
from
MacFarlane?
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Mhm.
yesterday.
Is it any good?
Yeah, it's funny. It's all right. And I guess it gets better even. Like every episode is getting better in a way. So
You didn't watch Star Trek. What's the point?
but I know Star Trek. You don't need to watch all the episodes to know how it works and the vibe of it and everything. I watched some Star Trek movies when I was a kid. It was a bit of a ritual when I got sick with the flu in primary school and up until I was a teenager. To watch VHS tapes of like 3 Star Trek movies. The ones that were a bit older already, and my mom would buy them at the newsstand, the newsagents, for like €5
the mighty have
99.
fallen.
You know, yeah. But it was those, yeah. It's the ones with Luc Picard and the what's it, Patrick Stewart Star Trek movies.
Yeah, sure.
Those ones. They
Sure.
were pretty cool. But I only ever watched them when I was sick. I didn't, aside from that, no. I didn't have the patience for it. So I know a little bit of Star Trek. And I've seen a few
So your
episodes.
memory of Star Trek is literally a fever dream.
Pretty much, yeah, I was thinking.
I've seen other episodes too. I had to, when I was doing American Studies in uni, I had an assignment which was American television from the 50s until present day, and I had to do a huge assignment on it. And I watched a few Star Trek episodes for that.
Original series?
The original series, yes. The absolute first ones. Yeah.
Good.
I found cool.
Right.
I found it cool at the time. I was like, it's not for me. It's kind of lame. It's a bit nerdy. You
It's
know?
absolutely lame. It's great.
Yeah. So that's why I did not continue.
Only like full scene that I saw was the infamous worst fighting scene ever made.
Wow, That's the
The
only
one with the
scene you've ever
lizard
seen.
swamp thing in the
Fully,
desert
yes, where
with a
yeah,
rock.
the swamp monster from the desert or whatever, or the lizard monster throws a rock, and the guys like punch each other, and it's like really like, okay, skip, next, ciao.
Yeah, the fighting choreographies are amazing in that series.
Amazing.
Not just that, but the fact that in so many episodes you can clearly see the stunt doubles. Like they don't even care
You
about
see
the
shit in the
editing.
back.
It's like it's amazing.
Yeah. But the quality of image at the time was completely different too. You could get away with so much.
Oh,
Yeah, and
sure.
you gotta. It's not that you gotta remember. This is a series that had
Yeah.
one of the lowest possible budgets. It was like a sci-fi
Mhm.
series. You know, it's a different time back then.
And the standards were different
They
too.
weren't
People
working with
Production
were
was
easily
pretty-
impressed by that stuff, you know? There were literally some people who saw that who have never seen a green man in a suit fight a spaceman. The concept itself was new to these people. In the early 60s,
Well-
there wasn't that much stuff like that around for some people.
no,
you
There
know?
was other sci-fi.
That's not really
Before-
true, Afonso. I don't
Yeah,
agree with
Flash,
that.
I'm not saying that everyone was like this. I'm
Flash
saying there
Gordon
are some
series and
people
stuff like that.
for whom this concept is new. If you're
No,
like
but
a
I don't.
10-year-old
I don't
kid,
agree with that. I disagree.
but I'm not saying it's for everyone. I'm saying for some people. You know, they're okay
Afonso,
with
you were
watching
saying
this.
you were saying for some people the concept was new, and
Yeah.
I don't agree with you.
Well,
That's all
all
I'm
concepts are
saying.
new to you at some point.
I think
You
the
know?
argument is that somehow Star Trek managed to streamline certain sci-fi ideas
Yeah.
that were already prevalent before in other
Mm-hmm.
series or movies. Actually, I don't know if there were. When was Flash Gordon?
It's much later.
Much
later.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yes,
Dude, Star
much
Trek is
later.
from the 60s. Like, television's been around
It's like-
15 years.
Yeah.
Not even.
Flash is like from late 70s, early 80s.
No.
Yeah.
Flash
What do you
Gordon
mean,
like
no?
is in the 40s or something like that.
No, it's not. No, there was no TV in the 40s, Lolo.
There was like
No,
this,
there was no TV series. TV series
Let me
came in
see
the
if I-
50s with I Love Lucy, and there was no
that is
Flash
in the
Gordon.
80s.
What?
Wasn't a Flash something
Lolo,
in the 40s?
I'm very confident in this.
Yeah.
I told you, I made an assignment on it.
Flash Gordon,
Uh,
1936. Okay.
But
Science
it's-
fiction serial, yeah. Flash Gordon in 1936, presented
not
in
for
13
TV.
chapters. Yes, screen adventure for Flash Gordon.
Okay, I see what you're saying. But this is Universal Pictures, and these are movies released as a series.
There you
It's
go.
not a series.
It's not a series. It's movies.
Well, it's
Yeah.
serialized. Yeah, exactly.
Sure.
Um,
Okay, yeah.
okay.
I see what you mean.
There, I agree with you. Sure. I thought you were talking about TV series.
It was different back then. Because TV was different.
This is not different. There's no TV in the 30s. That's the point I'm trying to get at. You know?
It was different. It was
No.
not the same.
Listen
what it
to
would
me. There
become
was no
later.
television in the 30s.
Ai, o caralho.
That's what I'm trying to say. That's why it's very confusing when you said series. I'm like,
The world's first television stations first started appearing in America in late 1920s and 1930s.
yeah, but there was no TV series in the 30s, dude. Like, you don't. It's fine. It's okay. You don't.
No, you're making a
Understand
point.
what I'm trying to
If
get
you want
at.
to make a point instead of
Yeah. There was no. That stuff wasn't. There was none of that on TV. You know, there were very few homes that had TVs. Like, TV as a mass broadcasting thing was in the 50s. You know? Some people in the 50s didn't even have
Sure, in
radio,
the
much less a
50s.
TV. You know? Like, you have to think of the whole, not what was available at the time for people who could afford it, but for everyone in general. That's why I mentioned the fight with Star Trek and
that's
stuff.
like
For some people, it's the
comparing
first
internet
time they
in
see
the
some stuff.
90s and the internet in
Absolutely, yeah.
post 2000 or
Yeah.
2010.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
kind of where I'm trying to get at, you know? There are people in the
It didn't sound
90s
like
who
what
didn't
you
even
were,
know what
what
an
you were
email
saying.
is.
But,
Um,
okay.
I didn't make myself understood well. The point I'm trying to get at in that sense is that for people who've never even seen something on TV, all of a sudden they're watching TV and there's Star Trek in front of them, and there's a man fighting a monster in a green suit, and they even know, like, what the hell am I watching? You know, because it's the first time they're seeing something like that. You know what I mean? Because they haven't watched much TV before. The few that they did is like shows like a bit on a set that seem realistic. You know, no sci-fi ever before. And as you were saying, Star Trek helped like streamline a lot of sci-fi stuff. Is it the first time that they're doing something like that? No. But when Star Trek showed up, it was the first time that a lot of people, millions of people, were exposed to sci-fi on the screen. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, again, if we're making the differentiation between TV series, between cinema, yes, I agree with you.
Yeah, cinema you have it's not Metropolis, it's what do you call it again? It's a movie from the 1920 something.
You sure you don't mean Metropolis? But that's
It is
surrealistic
Metropolis,
and
right?
abstract as fuck. Is that what
Yeah,
you're talking
yeah,
about?
yeah. And there's like those some of those movies of the time, the concept kind of spread out to become science fiction later on, you know?
Sure. I mean, obviously,
Or
like
got used in science
Metropolis, for
fiction, I
example,
guess.
is
Metropolis is another beast.
Metropolis. It's a piece of art. It's a Fritz Lang movie. I mean,
It's not even a spoken
Impressionism
movie,
and
is it?
shit.
1928 or 1929.
It's like
Yeah.
20,
movie.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's like 27,
From-
28, something like that.
I don't know if it was already. Yeah, I don't know if it was already. What the fuck was the studios based in Berlin back then? But yeah, Fritz Lang. Like they have these amazing sets that are painted in the.
Yeah, you have the whole German
No,
expressionism in cinema.
Yes,
You got the Dr. Caligari's Cabinet, which is amazing as well. You got shit tons of those
Ratu.
movies. Yeah, all of those movies from the 20s, even late 10s, and things like that. Amazing pieces of art. But anyway, all this to say that you also have like Ed Wood, which was making like Planet 9 from Outer Space in the 20s and 30s, which is terrible fucking sci-fi. But there was sci-fi. But yes, I agree with you that if we're talking about televised series, then yes, it's very different. I was going to mention actually that the Planet of the Apes with Charlton Heston, the original
That's
movies came out maybe a year or 2 years before the series. And you can tell, like, just the reason I talk about budget things is that you look at Planet of the Apes and what they could do with costumes is amazing, even during the 60s and stuff. You look at the
It
apes
still
and it
looks okay.
really well done. It looks really well done, Alfonso. It's the fucking 60s. It looks great. It looks super well done.
It's one of my favorite
Yeah.
sci-fi movies. The original Planet of the Apes, maybe top 20 for me. Every time I watch it, I always
It's
think,
good.
wow, it's a great movie.
Did you watch all four of them or just the one?
Once on a binge.
Okay.
But the first one is my favorite. Like the ones that came after that, I think are
It's
not as
good.
solid. And I think that, for example, the new trilogy of Planet of the Apes, as a whole,
Pretty good.
holds up much better than the first four movies. Meaning, what I mean is like
It's
no,
different.
hold, yeah. What I mean is like they are all consistently great. Like in fact, I think the new ones, right? The second and third movie are better than the first one, in my opinion. While with the other ones, the old ones, the first one is really good, and then it's downhill from there, in my opinion.
Fair enough. I mean, the new trilogy is also basically prequels. So, I
Yeah.
mean,
And it works. I mean, you can tell it's inspired in the original third and fourth movie, right? I'm lost here, by the way.
Boys,
man.
I might have to let you go.
Oh.
I got a dog going crazy.
Okay.
For
Well,
some
we have
reason.
been for an hour 50, and I am lost, not knowing where to go. So.
Of course. So, my boys, this is very nice. Let's do this again. You guys keep the stream going if you want. But
For a
I
little
need
bit.
to leave. All right. Lots of love. Thank you, my lovelies. Thank you, everything for the streams.
Love, love.
Catch you soon. Bye.
Ta-ta. Phew. Lolo, I'm lost. I don't know where to go. You need to help.
It's kind of difficult to orient yourself with land markings in this game because everything uses the same assets. So really, yeah.
I know, right? It's old
Since I
school.
haven't been really paying attention to the layout and the traversal, I don't have any spatial awareness of where you are right now.
Yeah, this game is very much figure it out, bitch. And I just keep going in circles. It's been what, 5 minutes or something like that? Maybe more.
Does anything change? Like, does like the later levels like change in aesthetic or anything, or is it always the same assets?
No, they do, but they don't. The colors change a little bit. That's
they do,
it.
but they don't. Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Colors, okay.
But we keep going like round and round and round. I think I found all of the things, but
the first Elder Scrolls was like this as well, like Elder Scrolls Arena and Daggerfall.
Really?
Elder Scrolls 1 and 2.
Did you play
Very
those?
much like this. No, I've never played those. I've only
Your first
watched,
one was Morrowind, right?
My first experience with Elder Scrolls was Morrowind, yes.
I remember being blown away because there was a stamina bar. What? Stamina in this game? Like you get tired from moving? What the fuck? You know what I mean?
Shit's so realistic.
Yeah, no, and then like if you want to find places to go, it's very old school in terms of games. Like the indication it gives you, it is an open world, but it's
figure
like,
it out.
yeah,
like the NPCs give you like when you see the tree.
Yeah, exactly.
In the
I was just thinking
like,
of that. The tree at the crossroads, or where like they say on the side of the sun. And you have to figure out that it's like when the sun is setting, and that's when that's the tree on the left side, not the tree on the right side. You know, something like that. Some bullshit. And then like, oh, there's a cave. I buried my treasure in a cave. You know. And there's like a mountain range where you have to go find that cave. There's just the one cave, but you have no idea where this cave is. And I have no idea where I am or what I'm doing. This way? No, we've been here already. Lolo!
You've been going in circles in this one for a while.
Absolutely. Now. Yeah. Absolutely. Well, I'm missing something. Like, okay, let's just stick to a wall. But the problem is that here, it just goes like this. See? Okay, how about here? And then how about there? Up. Oh, we've been here already. See? Is that problem? And there's
all the corners.
Yeah. And here we've been here already. Just 2 things inside. I don't know. Pow pow pow. But yeah. Did you watch any Star Trek, by the way? Like, is it your jam or the movies recently?
It would be, and there's a lot of things that are inspired by Star Trek that I actually enjoy a lot. For example, Mass Effect draws inspiration from a lot of sci-fi, including Star Trek. And I really enjoy Mass Effect, but I have never myself delved too much into the actual franchise of Star Trek. No, like I might have seen a couple of movies, a couple of episodes here and there.
The recent movies aren't bad. the let's call them remakes.
J.J. Abrams
right?
movies.
Yeah, the new ones. They're pretty cool. I enjoy them.
But I think it's mostly non-committed fans that enjoy the movies. Apparently, the
Probably.
Star Trek community is not very fond of those movies.
They're not the way I wanted it to be. Ah, found the key, Lolo. We found the key. Yay. Yeah, the key to what? Fuck.
Was there a door that couldn't be opened before?
Oh, yeah, there was, but the question is now where, you know?
Where is it now?
Fuck.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Early, what we were talking right at the beginning of this stream, like the early video game RPG dungeon crawling, where it wasn't as much free movement like the game you're playing right now. It was very much grid-based a lot, but you could like swap your camera perspective, like left, behind, front, right type of thing.
Ooh, something
So
that
you
some
could
games
rotate.
today don't even do. Yeah, like you have a fixed camera angle that you don't enjoy. Ooh, you're screwed, man.
Yeah. And people basically would draw themselves like in grid-based paper maps at home just to figure out the level design of the video game that they were playing.
I used to do that when I
Just to
was
understand.
a kid playing this game. Wolfenstein. I would draw the
Yeah.
map on a paper because I'll get lost every freaking time.
Oh yeah. You have to, like, otherwise everything looks the same.
There's no map. I can't even control the volume of the game. Imagine that. Look, we started here. This is our starting point. God damn it. So let's go. No, it was not even our starting point. That's the exit. But what the hell? I don't even know what to do anymore. I'm losing my mind, Lolo. Ah, wait. Found it. Okay. This is the place.
Nice.
Okay. Wait, we've been here before already? No, but we killed the dude that was inside. We found a way out, Lolo. This is it. Yes! We did it, dude. 27 minutes. Good freaking lord. Well, at least we didn't die. Right? Not so bad. It's a shame
That's
Peter left. It's a shame Peter. I mean, Jack. Peter is his alter ego. See, now it looks different. Now this is a red roof and brick level. That's how you know you're progressing. Oh, there's a dude somewhere here. I know I've asked you before, but I forgot about the answer. Do you still have that iron cross from your grandpa? Somewhere?
It must be somewhere. I just don't know where it is.
It's in your possession in a box somewhere, right? Something like that. That's a cool thing to have, you know?
I don't
Interesting
know
artifact.
about that.
Yeah, it's an interesting artifact. Come on, dude. The places where that thing went, you know? And the life that it, you know, had.
Yeah, it has some.
Different times, man. People forget. People forget.
Beyond!
Did you ever play this game?
Wolfenstein, the original, no.
Yes.
The only Wolfenstein I've played was the
2014 New Order.
I had a lot of fun with it.
It's a great game, isn't it? Like, it's very refined as a shooter.
Thing that really impacted my memory gaming experience was the moon base, for example. That I thought it was just so out there. Like, oh yeah, this is okay.
It had a little Euro spy feel to it, didn't it?
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that mission. I thought it was very decent. But these guys are so good at making shooters. I mean, they are the OGs of FPSs. And when they basically came out...
Still make video games?
Yeah, and it's quite impressive. Come again?
Sorry, who's the developer of the original Wolfenstein?
Id Software.
Right,
Same guys.
Okay.
Same guys. It's the same dudes who made the original. I mean, it's also Machine Games, but
the studio got bought by another studio. It got incorporated.
Yeah, Machine Games. They collaborated with Machine Games to do the shooting, and all that stuff. Yeah. I don't know if actually Doom 2016 is also by Machine Games. I'm not sure. I don't think so. But the new Wolfenstein is. But it's still the same mother company and the same guys that, you know. Actually, I don't even know if it's the same guy. I don't know if Carmack is still with them. I know Romero is. Not too sure. Yeah, I wouldn't know. But it's still the same institution. Mesma casa. Same house. You know? And the fact that they made the old Wolfenstein and the new one, which are both great, they went back on their own IP and rebooted it, kind of thing. Same thing for Doom, and they pulled it off. You know? I think Doom was great, especially because it came out at a time where shooter fatigue was starting to set in, especially like military shooter fatigue, Call of Duty. It was a bit saturated. It was the only type of shooters that you would see during those few years. And like late 2000s until early 2010s. And when Doom came out, it was such a breath of fresh air for first-person shooters. I mean, at that point, the only shooters of that time...
Out at that point.
Come again?
Medal of Honor had fallen out.
Got swallowed by Call of Duty and Battlefield.
It was like competition between Medal of Honor and Call of Duty, and Call of Duty just completely left Medal of Honor in the dust.
And back when it was even generation before that, it was Medal of Honor and Rainbow Six games for the PlayStation, you know? Then Halo showed up and changed everything for it. God damn it. You're not much of a shooter player, but what shooter games have you enjoyed over the last few years? You know?
Like
you're on Switch, but...
all of them or just in recent years?
In general, like shooters that you enjoyed playing, you know, over the last, I don't know, 10, 15 years?
15 years. How old am I? Benny.
You're 26, yeah, sure.
I don't even remember which was the first shooter I owned, actually. I don't think I owned any first-person shooters on my PlayStation or PlayStation 2. But I did own Halo Combat Evolved for PC.
Right, you were one of the first guys that had... I mean, you were late to the party on Halo because you had it for PC. It came out, what, like 2 or 3 years later? 2
years later, yeah. And I did play that game a lot, like the campaign, like I did play it a lot. The next first-person shooter that comes to memory for some reason is Crysis.
Ah, right. Yeah, I remember you enjoyed Crisis quite a lot.
I really enjoyed yeah.
So that was the first one that you really went, like Halo was there, which is fine, but Crisis got your attention?
Yeah. And I did play the Call of Duties, especially Modern Warfare 2 on the 360.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Call of Duty, the fuck was it called? Black Ops. Just for the zombie mode, because the zombie mode was a lot of fun with friends, right? Very easy game to set up. Like a very engaging
Zombies and waves and yeah, I enjoy that one
Always
too.
try your best to prove yourself.
All right.
But yeah, I think in terms of FPS, like it's mostly Crysis. Even in recent times, like I replayed the Crysis trilogy on the Switch, and in the last 2 years, I replayed and I finished Crysis 3 beginning of this year, I think. I played that many shooters actually. Played Wolfenstein on the Xbox One around 2014 or whenever that came out. Because for me, first-person shooter perspective, it needs to have a second component, like for me, or it needs to be like engaging enough. Like what I really appreciated about Wolfenstein First Order is that narratively speaking, it was very engaging. Like it felt very pulp fiction-ish type of movie, like throwing popcorn into your face. It was a very enjoyable ride.
The second
Very
one is
comic
even more over the top.
well. Oh, I imagine. I didn't play the second one.
But in a way that makes sense, you know?
Okay.
Like they set it up in a way that you expect that sort of thing.
Deus Ex is not really a first-person shooter. It's more of a
first-person RPG with shooting elements. Yeah.
Shooting elements. Like I really enjoyed Deus Ex. A lot on it. But I mean, like usually. It needs to have, for me, for my personal taste, it needs to have something more than just the shooting.
Just the mechanic itself, yeah. I understand.
Otherwise, it does. I don't feel myself gravitating.
Alright. See, this level has changed. Brick walls.
Doom 2016 or 2015 or
2016.
That game very sour taste when I completed the game.
Right, because you get invested in the story and everything, right?
I was like, dude, what the fuck?
Well, then you have to play Doom Eternal
Really?
when it comes out for the Switch.
Was the worst cliffhanger. Well, whenever I have nothing else to play, I will dip my toes in Doom Eternal. But
Yeah.
it's really down
on the list. it's something that maybe you'd have to be in the mood and go, like, why not? Let's try it. Well, even if you play on easy, it's a fun game. You know, you don't have to play it on difficult mode.
Oh yeah, I have no shame admitting. Like I tried Doom 2016 in normal mode, but halfway through it was just so intense for me that I had to switch it back to easy. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been able to finish that game at all.
But it's also fun to play that game and just go on a rampage killing demons.
Yeah,
on easy, you know.
Essence, the core gameplay of that is extremely satisfying. There was a weird tangent for the series that I remember generation previous to that one. Doom 3, do you remember?
Come again? Doom 3, yeah.
Tried to take the series. They tried to take the series more survival horror aspect.
And if you play it that way, it's a good game. You know, I played Doom 3 on the Xbox and I thought it was cool. I don't think I finished it. I have it for the Xbox.
Remember one of our friends first.
I borrowed it from him. Douche, right?
Yeah, Douche, yeah, right. Exactly. That's why when Dead Space came, first Dead Space, I made that jump because I remember this feeling of playing this video game that was sci-fi but extremely scary. And yeah, first Dead Space 1 brought me back to that feeling.
Doom 3 has a similar feel to the old Alien games. Not the new one,
I guess.
But the old ones. You know, it's very...
I will say, Alien Isolation, for example, did bring me some vibes from that because it plays it a little bit on it. And very rapidly, you realize that Alien Isolation is not a shooter. To that
almost,
conversation, right? Yeah, it's a first-person stealth game, and for example, still today, Alien Isolation is one of my top 5 favorite games of all time, and it's probably the only first-person perspective. My top 2.
Interesting.
It's just because usually I gravitate towards other stuff, unless you would count. Elder Scrolls, you can play it on person as well. So.
But you usually you go back and forth with Elder Scrolls, right?
I like to switch back and forth depending on the action. Like I like to immerse myself in first person when I'm like putting myself into the skin and the shoes of my own character. But then, like when I'm see how the character looks and just visually taking in the progression that has happened since hitting the different milestones of progression.
That's something that when you mean that you can see the progression, right? When you're in third person, you see your character evolve, right? It's a shame that Cyberpunk doesn't have that. You never get to see what your character looks like unless you're on the menu or on a motorcycle. On cutscenes, everything is still first person, so it's it's kind of a shame. I'm sure there's a mod.
You can toggle between first person and third person.
I love when games let you do that. It's great.
Yeah.
Serious Sam lets you do that. It's quite funny, actually, for a type of game that it is, to let you just go back between first and third person like that. Because it's a very good first-person shooter, but it can be a third-person shooter if you want it to be. Even though it's
I only
generally
know that game
classified
by
as a
name.
first-person
I
shooter.
have no idea how that plays.
Serious Sam is like the a mix of Duke Nukem and Doom, but in the sense that it's not cringe like Duke Nukem is, but more like funny cringe and self-aware. And you get to kill many different types of enemies and creatures and stuff. And they come sometimes by the dozens. Like the intensity-wise, it's more like the newer Dooms, where there's like so many enemies just going at you, and also much wider spaces as well. So almost like a big arena. Yeah, it's it's in my opinion, Serious Sam is a very underappreciated franchise. But the people who like it really enjoy it. Every time there's a Serious Sam game coming out, I buy it. Even if I end up not playing much, I still want to play a little bit, and when I do play it, I have a blast. Pun intended. You know? Yeah, I don't know where we have to put
Egypt,
this.
or it's just like a fantasy land?
Oh, it's fantasy land. It's different dimensions, or you go through space. You know, sometimes it's on Earth. It's great, and the story is very silly. But yeah, Serious Sam games are really cool. Well, my friend, on that note, I think I have to leave it at this and get something to eat. It's very late, and it's midnight 30 for me.
It's a very long stream. You usually don't. You
I
haven't streamed
know.
this long for a while.
Yeah, it's true. But it was fun. I'm having a good time with my mates. You know? So it only makes sense to keep it going. Yeah. Anything you want to say to our dear viewers, listeners, before you go?
Drink a lot of water if you're in the north hemisphere right now. Like I think the heat waves are like down still. Hydrate your body.
All right. I always live in a heat wave, so it makes no difference for me. But thank you.
No difference.
Now it's hot and wet. You know? Especially wet. Sure. But yeah,
Is
good
it
point.
monsoon
Drink
time?
water. Yes, monsoon time. And it's about to get even more monsoony. It's going to be monsooning even more in the upcoming months. Yeah. Yeah, it happens. It's life. Mesdames et messieurs, follow Dagon_Caldrum on Twitch and on YouTube, _Jack Reinhardt, and Jack and Papu on YouTube. That's Papu84. Today we released our latest videos, Waking the Wind, Episode 2, with Jack, who was with us a moment ago, and with Lolo Dagon Caldrum, who is with us today. Go check it out. It's great. Bye-bye.